You know, there were two great Godfathers, Godfather 1 and Godfather 2. This is part 2 of the National Football Show with Big Sills. Bob Lang over with the Philadelphia Eagles cannot stop us. All of you. We appreciate you hanging tight with us. Hit that damn like button now. We are not going to let anybody stop us here. Thank you. Little bit of technical difficulties with YouTube, and they ended up knocking us off. So we're going to reset this puppy. Nothing has changed. We just lose 10 minutes of my life. Here, let me make a point to you here. So, hey, okay, it's like me talking to Senorita for 10 minutes. It's like 10 minutes of my life I wish I could have got back, but I can never get back. That's kind of what that little gap was here. So do me a favor. Please hit the like button. We appreciate you guys coming aboard. We're going to get Zander up here in a second, and we're going to go forward with it. We appreciate everybody coming aboard. Hey, smash that like button, man. Oh, I know what it is. You see, at the beginning of the program, Zander Krause, Super Bowl Eagle. Yeah. Elite. And I kept going like this. Oh, my God. 9-28. What are you, crazy, man? Hey, don't forget, Joe Theismann's going to join us at 5:30. I'm assuming that we're going to have to send probably a new link to him also to get him aboard with us also at 5:30. But without further ado, hopefully he was able, through all this chaos, put his top 10 quarterbacks. And will Jalen Hurts finally be on Big Sil's list? Because remember something, 9-28 over the last 5. I don't know what you're looking at here. Okay, I have no idea what you're looking at. By the way, the first part of the program was kicking ass. You guys were doing great. Let's make the second half of the program even better. So we look forward to it. That being said, he is the co-host of Birds 365. He does a fabulous job. Look what he did here, man. Talk about troubleshooting. Kept calm. Like Sills, you know, I never get bent out of shape over anything. My volume's down, Zander. My volume's. All right? He never gets frustrated. Only when he's talking to Big Sills about Jalen Hurts and about his Eagles. Does a great job on the pre and post and the halftime. Let's bring him up here. Our friend, Big Z, Zander Krause.
What's up, everybody? Sorry about that, man. What a pain. What a royal pain in the ass.
Who, me?
No, not you. Well, you too. I mean, that's a given now. I mean, that's every day of my life. I don't know what happened. YouTube, StreamYard, somebody disconnected us in the middle of you on a rant, and now we're losing all of our data. So if you're in here, we appreciate you. Obviously, our viewership is a lot lower when you have to cancel out on a show that was crushing.
Killing it.
So hit that like button, show us some support, because we're going to miss out on a lot of views today, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. Like Nick Sirianni, we roll on. All right?
Who?
That was abysmal that you left him off your list.
What, my top 10 coaches? He doesn't deserve to be on that list. He's not that good a coach.
Bullshit.
Let me say this to you. If you had to hire a coach to start your franchise, would he be number 1?
No.
Okay. Would he be in your top 10?
Yes.
Oh my God. Be in your here's who I would name.
Dude, the guy is a near 700 win percent.
Wow. So wait a minute. Win percentage tells me he's a better coach than Mike Tomlin?
I never said I would take him over Mike Tomlin. You said top 10.
But win percentage. He's got a better win percentage than Mike. Is he a better coach?
No, he's not a better coach than Tomlin.
Here. If I had to take 10 coaches in the game today, would you take him over Sean McVay?
No. Sean McVay? No.
Would you take him over Matt LaFleur?
No.
Okay. Would you take him over Andy Reid?
That's a given. No.
Okay. Would you take him over Kyle Shanahan?
I mean, no, probably not. But
Okay.
Kyle Shanahan's got a lot of
Now,
issues.
wait a minute. I'm starting to run out of guys.
Yeah, exactly. He's 7 or 8.
Okay. Hold on.
You named the 6 or 7 I'd take in front of him.
Okay. Hold on here now. Would you take him over Kevin O'Connell up at Minnesota?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So you think Nick Sirianni could win with Sam Darnold?
I never said that. I said I'd take Nick Sirianni as a coach of my football team.
To build your team. What's he ever built? How he builds it?
Oh, good. You're giving Howie credit.
Unfortunately. Hey, don't I hold these little crazy grudges?
This is a shit topic. Move on.
It's not a shit topic because you know what a shit topic is? That bullshit win percentage that you lean on. Like they win because of the roster, not the
just
coach.
like Jalen's wins don't matter.
I
Now
didn't say
Nick's
that.
wins
I
don't
didn't
matter.
say his wins.
And just like the organization doesn't matter, and the Commanders are better than us because they look okay versus the shittiest teams in the league. It's all the same bullshit with you today, Sills.
Hey, don't get mad at me because StreamYard knocked you off, man. I mean, hey, man, it's all good. Okay.
Oh, well, I am pissed.
I can tell, really.
I am pissed.
But look at angry Zander. It's always good, Zander. It's always great. Angry Zander. All right, Zander, let's do this then. We were having this conversation at the beginning of the show, and wait till you hear his bullshit. Okay, so let me ask you this.
Look, I got Sills mad. Now he's dropping bullshit.
Yeah, I would never get mad at you, kid. Okay?
That's all right. You can get mad at me because I'm about to dust you on several topics today.
Fine. You're going to dust me? All right.
Yes.
Do you think the Eagles have been playing better football offensively than the Commanders have been playing in the first 9 weeks of the season?
Well, sure. I mean, looking at the last 5 weeks.
No, I didn't say last 5 weeks. I said for the first 10 weeks of the season, who's played more consistent football offensively? The Commanders or the Eagles?
Maybe the Commanders on a slight edge. On a slight edge. Yeah.
Let's take a look at that. Well, they're better than you in total offense.
Oh, are you factoring in the 3 teams that we absolutely blew out so bad that we didn't have to keep our starters in the game?
Hoss.
Or how about the 4 games that AJ Brown missed?
Hold on. Wait a minute. So fucking what? That's called the war of attrition, kid.
All right. But you're asking me if the offenses have performed.
No. Okay.
All right. How's Baker Mayfield been since his 2 receivers have went down?
That's part of the war of attrition.
I'm just saying your offense isn't going to have dominant numbers when your top guys go down.
Injuries are part of the conversation.
Yeah, but we won in spite of the injuries. That's what matters, not the offensive numbers.
We're talking about a fucking rookie quarterback, dude. We're not talking about a 5-year vet. And he's doing it. Ron Jaworski said today on WYP, he's the greatest rookie quarterback prospect he's ever seen.
I'll be hearing about this quote from Ron Jaworski for the next month. We better win on Thursday. Please win so Sileo can shut up about Jaden Daniels.
Passing. Well, here, this goes to the number. The Commanders are 10th in passing right now. And the Eagles, of course, that shitty 21st in passing right now. They're 197 yards. You got a rookie who's got a better season going than a 5-year MVP candidate. Hey, who's the number 2? Let me get it. Is it Nelson Aguilar? Oh, wait a minute. Eagles couldn't make that guy a good ball player, but Jaden Daniels can. Oh, okay. Hey, all you have to do is, I see. So the Eagles got Washington's trash and Dotson, and the Commanders got the Eagles trash in Aguilar, and Aguilar might have 850 yards receiving this year.
Aguilar was not bad for us. You misinterpreting that situation. You know, we actually liked Aguilar. He contributed to our Super Bowl run. But his bad moments in Philly, unfortunately, outweighed many of his good moments And it's tough to criticize that, honestly, dude. If you go back and watch some of the blunders he had in the city of brotherly love, they were not good. But look, he was always competent. I mean, look, he was one of our guys on the Super Bowl squad. I think he had a couple big catches in the Super Bowl. I mean, he was one of Wentz's top targets when Wentz was on his MVP run. I remember he started the year that year versus the Commanders or the Redskins at the time with a deep bomb from Carson Wentz. It was like 75 yards. I think it might have been the first or second game of the year. Aguilar from Wentz. So I've never disliked Aguilar, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate it there. Thank you very much. All right, let's do this. Rushing. Commanders are 4th. The Eagles are 2nd. Okay? I mean, right?
Bird's better at rushing team, clearly.
Scoring. They score more points.
That's because they're in closer games.
Well, really, I must have missed that Jags in that Browns game.
All right, you're nitpicking. What about the 3 teams we just blew out in the last 5 games?
All right, he says I'm nitpicking. All right, let's see how many close games.
I'm not. All right, did we have 3 games in the last 5 that we sat our starters at the end? Yes or no?
You sat your starters in the last 5 games?
3 of the last 5 games.
But that should tell you all you need to know, folks. Don't believe everything you're seeing because you're playing shitty teams. Hey, here, look at this. Good. Look at these. Here, look at these close games. Jacksonville 28-23, Cleveland 20-16, New Orleans 15-12, Atlanta 22-21. I mean, yeah, you've had a ton of blowouts. Come on, man. Come on, kid. Where are we going here?
I'm not buying any of the Kool-Aid you're selling today.
Well, I'm not buying that you think you're better than the Commanders when you haven't done dick either. I'm not buying the Commanders yet. I'm buying the Eagles after the next 3 ball games. The next 3 ball games, I'm buying.
See, I'm not even buying them at that point because it's the same thing after last year.
How do you know what you have?
Because it's about playing good football late in the year, and it's about building on what you are each week and becoming a better football team. You're going to buy them after 3 weeks. Okay, why? We beat the Chiefs, the Bills last year. Did you buy them then? So I'm not going to get into any scenario, whether it's week 12, week 14, week 15, of buying them.
Dude, that team a year ago was organizationally sabotaged by itself, by the coordinator change and the idiotic things that put that team into the toilet. Okay, when you were 10-2, you made a coordinator change in the middle of the season. It derailed the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm just saying I'm optimistic on the team, not because we might win the next 3 games, or because I'm optimistic because every week they seem to be building on what they had the week prior and getting a little bit better. Is there moments? Yeah, there's always going to be moments in a game that you look and you're like, whoa, what the hell's going on? There's always going to be those moments. I think the team has gotten better each week. I think we're playing better football right now than we did in week 1. I think they're building in the right direction. They're showing signs of getting back to the offense that worked for them in 22. Jalen Hurts has gone back to his normal self of not turning the ball over like crazy in the last 5 weeks. I think we're showing really good signs, but I'm not going to sit here and even if we beat the Ravens or we beat the Commanders twice, I'm not going to say, oh, we're winning the Super Bowl. No, because you got to play great in the playoffs. But I want to see us continue to build toward that moment, and that's why I'm optimistic right now, because they've done that in the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, well, I'm not optimistic on 9-28 and shitty teams. I want to see this thing get better.
I think it's actually worse than that. I think it's 13-35.
13-35, really?
I think
By the way, I misspoke. Nelson Aguilar is on the Ravens, so I misspoke on that there too. So I apologize on that.
It's really, Olamide Zaccheaus you're thinking of.
Yes, a 13-35.
I saw someone put that out today that the opponents of the last 5 we beat are 13-35. Now,
okay,
I haven't. I'm going to be truthful with you. I haven't fact checked it. I haven't fact checked you or him. So
how about this? Style points, Sills. Yeah, I agree.
I don't care about style points.
I think they look. No. I like, Bruce, what you're saying here, because you know what? Do they look better right now, Sills, than they did at the beginning of the year on what Zander just said? Yeah, they do look better, and they look more with rhythm. And I think when you're hey, Bruce, I don't look at 4 quarters of football like some people do. I look at a body of work and I look at how you're trending. Remember what we said at the beginning of the year? We said that we're going to find out by week 10 to 12 on what your defense is looking like. Then all of a sudden, Vic Fangio echoed that. Your offense would struggle and your offense would be bumpy coming out of the gate. Those were my exact words, and that's exactly what's happened. They had an epiphany at the bye. You know what that epiphany was? They decided to go back to doing something that they knew that was successful because throwing the ball was leading to disaster. He had 27 turnovers in 29 games. They've ended that how? By running the ball more.
Well,
That's
yeah,
all they've done.
But doesn't that help every quarterback? Like, I get what you're saying, but doesn't a great run game help any quarterback in the league?
It does, but for Jalen Hurts, though, there's no Saquon Barkley on Mahomes' team or Allen's team. Okay? Hey, by the way, has that helped Lamar in his passing game, having Derrick Henry? It sure has.
Yeah, it helps every quarterback. Now, look, I think I get what you're saying, and it's easy to criticize Jalen, but are you going to put none of that?
No.
Are you going to put none of that on our coaching staff, we have ripped on this show for coming out and throwing go balls to start games over and over again? Now, maybe it was Jalen. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? But it's like somebody put it in our chat this morning, and I'm sorry if I missed your name, but it was a really good take. And they're like, yeah, Jalen struggles early in games right now. It's like walking out to take free throws in a gym. Your first 10 are worse. And once you get in a rhythm, you start hitting free throws. And you're like, okay, I'm in a rhythm right now. They got to get him in rhythm. And I think that's what the running game is doing. But to your point, me and John talked about this morning. I don't think the passing game is yet where they want it to be. And this is what John always pushes back on me, where I'm like, oh, we're a run-first team. And he's like, that's not what they want to be. They want to be a pass team that is helped by the run. So anything they do in the run game is supposed to help what they're doing in the passing game. That's not yet come to fruition. But
they'll never be that.
Yeah, but dude, where I think you're wrong.
And I'll show you.
They were that in 22, dude. They were not an incompetent passing team in 22.
They had 2,500 rushing yards between the coach.
I know. I'm not saying they weren't a great runner of running the football, but they had a solid passing attack, dude.
Okay, solid. Okay, I'm there.
I mean, we didn't put up 35 in the Chiefs in the Super Bowl running the ball.
It wasn't sensational. It was solid. Like you said, I'm there on solid. I wouldn't. That team will never be a pass-first team, and I'll show you why. Even in the last game, it was. By the way, all super chats go to the top.
Yes, Flex, and Howie got the stream cut again, 100%.
Hey, how about this? Last game was an exact indictment on your passing game. When they wanted to throw the ball against the Cowboys, you had turnovers and picks and sacks against the shittiest team in the NFC East. And then when they decided to go back, that's what happened.
I know, but my point is that every game has different call. Like in the Super Bowl game, that we played. You know how many yards our running backs had in that game?
Okay.
Just guess. Just entertain me for a second.
I don't know, because they yanked him after he dropped the ball on the carpet and they didn't.
37 yards between 2 and 45 if you add in Boston.
Took an L.
My point is that the passing game was elevated in that game because that's what it called for. When you're blowing teams out, you don't have to go to the pass.
You are not a passing guy. Your quarterback cannot win a Super Bowl from the pocket. Maybe that's where I'm at.
Listen.
No way is that guy going to win a Super Bowl from the pocket. No way.
Is there consistency issues? For sure. But Jalen has shown that he can be that guy in moments.
He will never win a Super Bowl from the pocket.
He nearly did it.
He will never win a Super Bowl from the pocket.
I think you're wrong to dismiss what we saw with our own eyes. I understand they didn't win. I understand it's the past. I understand 22 success does not mean 24 success.
He'll never be consistent. I'll take this one. Okay?
Well, that's fair. He's got to be more consistent. I agree with that.
Pocket. And that means if you're not consistent from the pocket, you can't win a Super Bowl. And by the way, now that's an opinion for sure. And that's a style point for me. Because in the last 16 Super Bowls, maybe they change it, Lamar and him.
Yeah,
over the next 5 years, Zander, maybe one of those two guys changes that dynamic. Okay? Maybe they do. And there's a good chance one of those two guys is possibly going to change the dynamic. Okay? Yale says he was great in 22. He was. I mean, but again, Yale, he's got to hang around 3,700 yards and 450 passing attempts. Last year, he threw for 540, and he had a mountain of turnovers. They tried that shit again at the beginning of the season in the first 4. He had a mountain of turnovers early on in the season. Over the last 5, he's only had 2, which is great. That is 22 football. Remember, I've been a guy on here that has been screaming for them to get back to 22. And for the record, Zander, I like the style they're playing. I do, because you know why? When you're in a fight with a heavyweight knockout artist, when you fight this Eagles team,
right?
When you fight that pack, when you fight that passive passing attack team, you can beat that team at any moment. But when you are playing against a rushing attack, Zander, I'm telling you, as a former D lineman, it's like having one arm tied behind your back, getting your ass handed to you every single play. You can't do anything about it.
No, I get it.
They're moving.
I get it, but when they stack the box and take that away from you, we better be able to beat teams in the air. And where you're right is, Jalen's got to be more consistent. And when the opportunities present itself, he has to capitalize in the passing game. Where I disagree with you is that he cannot do it. I believe he can do it. He showed me he can do it. I'm not saying that because I want to believe it. I mean, if you're saying that about Jaden Daniels right now, it's because you want to believe it.
No. What I'm saying about Jake, no. I got a lot more. Hey, I love the first 9. That doesn't mean I love the quarterback, because I brought this up with Merrill. I saw RG3 win the Rookie of the Year award in Washington, blow his knee out, and what happened? He's a commentator now on ESPN. I mean, so I totally get it, man. Hey, listen, like I said, you're never going to get consistency from the pocket in Philadelphia with that guy as your quarterback. You're just never going to.
Look, he's 26 years old, dude.
Any time in his career as a passer, but 22, and we're seeing it to 22.
Yeah, but can I challenge you on that? Don't you think it's a little bit naive of you to say he'll never be that as a 26-year-old dude that's improved his game in some way every year of his career?
Game. He's improved his targeting for sure.
He's Sills.
Dude, 5 sacks. Were you not watching and missed throws?
I watched it, but for you to say he hasn't improved his passing game is
Wait a minute. Did you watch a different Cowboy game than I did in the first half? You thought he was good?
I never said that. You're putting words in my mouth. You're not listening. You're like McMullen. You don't listen to what I'm saying. You're so worried about talking over me.
I told you, you're never going to get fucking consistent quarterback play from that kid ever, because he doesn't have the capabilities of it. And I saw it last week.
I think he's gotten
way better. How did you not see that last week?
I see him get way better, though, at this, dude. So when I watched him, and I talk about it all the time, how many times I watched him live and in person his freshman year of college, he could barely throw past the sticks. Go watch that Alabama offense. Every pass, it was 8 to 10 passes a game. It was behind the line of scrimmage. The guy has gotten so much better. Look, I don't disagree with you that he's got to be more consistent. I don't. I think you're correct. And I think his consistency is what will determine how good of a football team we are in the next couple of years. But for me to say he'll never be that, I think that's dumb. He's 26, dude. He's not 40.
No way. He will never have the consistency, because I have never seen the consistency. He's gotten better in his targeting of the passing. I watched him last Sunday, a couple days ago, shit the bed in the first half. Fumbles, missed interception, and missed throws. And then when they went back to the running game, that's when he was effective, because he was out in the perimeter running around, which opened up the single man coverage that we see that he's great at. There's no doubt. He's single coverage. He's gotten better at that. But if they do not run the ball, they are never going to have an opportunity, because he's not. Hey, look, I'll tell you, has he gotten better as a passer since I first started watching him? Yes, he has. 100%. But they're micro steps.
Dude.
Did you not watch Sunday?
Dude, why
Cowboys
are you
are
so focused on
terrible.
Sunday? What about Sunday has more meaning than every other game Jalen's played in his career?
The fact that guy, they had to go back to doing what they do best is running the ball. They ran the ball almost 40 times.
I know. I mean, look, I get what you're saying, but I watched him on the biggest stage pass against a Steve Spagnuolo defense, dude. They took away the run completely in that game.
Because they
Completely.
took out, because you know why? Your play caller and your head coach benched a guy for putting the guy on the carpet. And do you think that maybe didn't also help the fact that you lost a 10-point lead in that second half because you were getting 3 and outs after that as well?
We were not getting many 3 and outs in that game, dude. Go and look at the breakdown of that game.
If you can't sustain drives because you don't have a running attack, Hurts was the only guy that you had on the field there. You're telling me a running back wouldn't have helped?
Let me just give you the second quarter drives. We had 1 punt in the entire game. 2 punts in the entire game.
Holy cow! Here we go.
No, because you're mad. I'm bringing up the Super Bowl. I'm just showing you it as a show of Jalen proving to me that he can do it. Will he do it on a consistent basis? Yeah, we gotta see.
Never.
But you're pointing out the Cowboys game. Like, okay, he had good throws in the Cowboys game too.
That was the recent game. It was 3 days ago.
Yeah, I know. So what?
Right,
he took 5 sacks versus the Cowboys. Let me indict his entire career. No, that's stupid.
No, I'm indicting his ability.
I don't agree with you.
Okay, there you go. Then we'll move on to the defense because I'm with you. I do not at all subscribe to your shit, and you don't subscribe to my shit on that. All right. So,
Sills ain't pushing me around, Spike.
We'll agree to I'm not pushing this kid around. You kidding me? What are you fucking nuts? What are you listening to? You and your wife arguing over what?
I get
over
what
sandwiches?
Saying, where I'll concede is that Jalen has to be more consistent. Where I differ is that I think he can become more consistent. I think you don't think he can become more consistent. I would disagree with that heavy. Okay. It's only 26 years old.
By the way, hey, dude, what are you doing? What are you talking about? You and your wife arguing over pot pies? Give me a break here, guy. This is the real man's argument. If you can't handle it, get the fuck out of here, man. Hit the like button. Come on, savages. This is Godfather 2, this show. We just did Godfather 1. We're now doing Godfather 2 to separate this.
All right, where are we going? Number 2? You're going on defense? Because I got a topic.
Hey, where are we going? I
got a topic I want to bring up with you, but I want to wait until you're ready to bring it in.
What's that? What do you got for
me? Well, let me just flame Akbar again, who I've been flaming the last couple of days. Sorry, Akbar. I hate to do it to you, brother, but welcome to the Thunderdome, dog. He says, Zig, you're losing, man. Get warmed up.
He's not losing.
No, I don't care if I'm losing. I don't give a fuck if I'm losing. I have an opinion, and I'm going to state it. Whether people think I win or not doesn't bother me in the slightest. But Akbar was in the chat, and we were having this debate with a couple people in the chat, and I said I was going to bring it up with you about wide receivers. And Akbar's telling me he's going to take Devontae Smith over CeeDee Lamb. Are you taking Devontae Smith over CeeDee Lamb? Can I remind you real quick before you respond that CeeDee Lamb had 135 catches last year for 1,760 yards.
In the slot.
I don't care where he was.
Dude,
anywhere.
Slot,
you line up and getting your 2K yards passing.
Lesser talent in the slot.
Yeah, but that's BS because he was the only guy.
In the slot, you're going against safeties. You're not going against premier corners.
You're acting like the defense isn't going to move to cover the guy. Come on. He was the only target on that team.
You're playing against safeties versus top corners.
Yeah, but you don't think their defenses were moving to cover CeeDee Lamb? Wait, let me just break it down to you. Okay, I'm game planning for the Cowboys this week. CeeDee Lamb has 1,000 yards more than the second most receiver who had 700 yards. Let's figure out a way to cover CeeDee Lamb.
He plays a completely different position. The why? Are you crazy when you put it up on the board?
So you don't think you think Devontae Smith's better than CeeDee Lamb?
I think he runs better routes than him for sure.
Okay, well, routes aren't the only determining factor on what makes a good wide receiver.
I think he's got better hands. Is he as physical? No. He plays against top flight people at corner.
Look at that.
Dude, you know who you're playing against when you're CeeDee Lamb? Avonte Maddox.
All right, rank these three. Devontae Smith, Terry McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb.
Terry McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb, and Devontae. But
I say CeeDee Lamb, Terry, and Devontae.
I would put him. dude, Terry McLaurin's a great football player.
A great player.
However,
I think there's a little eagle glasses on CD Lamb.
How about this though? I'm starting to think, and get this, you want to hear something, folks? Your guy had 14 yards last week, and 2 weeks ago he had -2. And I would still think this. He's got top 10 talent, dude. He's got top 10 talent. I mean, Devontae Smith is a top 10 talented kid. You're not paying him $25 million because he's the 18th best player.
I don't know, man. Look, nobody loves Devontae. I mean, people are like, "Oh, you're a Devontae." No. I watched Devontae Smith catch a national championship ball in overtime over the Georgia Bulldogs when I was on the campus of Alabama. Believe me, I love that guy. But we're in the NFL now. This is the big boys league. I don't think Devontae Smith. And look, many could argue it's because of Jalen or because of the offense and because of the players we have here. That's fine. I'll listen to that argument, but I don't think Devontae Smith has proven he's near as good as CD Lamb in the NFL.
Folks, and I want to tell you this, by the way, we'll read your super chats at the end. And I got to tell you something here. You know what's funny in this conversation we're having? The first conversation that me and this guy had was about Devontae Smith. You know what he said to me? Honest to God, he goes, "Hey, Sills," and he was all jacked up about it because of his Bama love. He goes, "Hey, what'd you make of Smitty?" He was all jacked up, and I go, "He's a fucking schwimp." I go, "The guy's a schwimp. He'll get killed. He'll never play." Xander's like, "Oh, I don't believe that." I'm like, he's like, "Who the fuck did we just hire?" And
this is like porn to Akbar. He's listening to this like, "Yes, Sileo agreed with me."
Wait.
Yes.
Oh, wait, this is an Akbar take? Fuck it. CD's better. Hey.
I love Smitty. I just don't think he's proven that much, man. He's barely cracked. He's got 4 years. He's barely cracked 1,000 yards in two of his 4 seasons. I mean,
but he's the number 2.
Yeah, but he's solid. He's not a superstar. He's not. CD Lamb is a superstar.
You don't think that okay, let me ask you this. If you put Devontae Smith on the Kansas City Chiefs with Mahomes, how many yards and touchdowns would he have, do you think?
Yeah,
would Devontae Smith have 1,500 yards receiving and 18 touchdowns in Kansas City?
All right, here's a better comp, though. Because, I think you could put Jahan Dotson on the Chiefs and he might bust 1,000. But what about if Devontae Smith was the only target on that Cowboys offense last year? He have an 1,800 and 135 catches, mind you. I don't give a shit where you line up. If you got 135 catches in an NFL season, you're a damn good player.
He'd have a ton of catches there.
Justin Jefferson's never even had 135 catches, dude. I'm sorry. I'm not wiping away that type of production because he plays the slot. I don't care.
Dude, the slot, though, you're playing you're going against linebackers. Now you have to be more
physical. But then why doesn't everybody in the league do that? If it's so simple.
Because not every wideout can handle the physicality down in there.
Well, then that's another
No, that's an advantage to him. Yeah. It is. Hey, dude, did you not see him getting ambushed and getting mugged by the Eagle guys going across the middle in there? Dude, it's a fear factor thing, too. I'm not saying Smitty doesn't have the Sacagawea to go across the middle, because he does.
He does, yeah.
Okay, but you've got to do that on a daily basis. Dude, that slot position, you're going to get a ton of targets in that position, man. And quite frankly, who's the second guy in Dallas? Some guy named Tolbert?
I don't know. Last year, I think it was the tight end. That's what I mean. Look, I get it. It's one thing to say that if you have a lineup of people that defenses have to take away. He was their only target last year, dude. He was their only guy. So defenses had one dude to take away, and they still couldn't take him away. I think it's a bigger credit to him. Akbar, try again. Brown did not have more yards than CD Lamb. Akbar, 0 for 1. Actually, you might be 0 for 3. Try again, Akbar.
He did. CD had a ton of yards and catches last year, dude. I mean, he got 36 million ducks for a reason. Okay. And it wasn't for getting 92 catches.
I just wanted to bring up those 3 because we were talking about him in the chat. I think all 3 are great players. I'm not saying Smitty's not great, but
Terry McLaurin with a decent quarterback. Look what he's doing now, man.
Terry McLaurin was damn good when he had shitty quarterbacks. That's how you know that.
He had Sam Howell in there and doing all that bullshit with him.
Still getting 1,000 plus.
Let me show you something here, too, with what.
Oh, now I'm a cowgirl lover because I said CD Lamb's a good player. Oh, Jarrell, fuck off, Jarrell. That's some bullshit, Jarrell. The dude has 1,800 yards. We can't give some respect to great players in the league. I'm a fan of football, Jarrell. I love football.
There's no question, man. I mean, I wouldn't call you I wouldn't call you a yeah, here, look, let's take a look at this here. We're Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin's a really great player. I mean, okay, here's McLaurin. Yeah, he's going to have a big year. Right now, Terry McLaurin is projected to have 112 catches and 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns. And he's averaging 15 yards a catch. I mean, he's a really good football player, man. He is. And he's playing with a rookie quarterback. Thank you. Make sure you have your top 10.
You have a lineup of people right now, and you got to pick one wideout for your squad, and there's only two left, CD or Smitty. You picking Smitty?
Yeah.
Really?
You know why? CeeDee Lamb will quit on me.
What makes you say that?
Because the way he plays, if things aren't going his way, creates some bitches at his quarterback, and he doesn't. I'll tell you what, the way he bitches.
I think Micah is a quitter.
The problem with his character.
I don't know. CD's character doesn't strike me wrong at all.
That guy's character. I can't believe I'm defending an Eagle player like this, but he's my favorite player.
I can't believe I'm vouching for a Cowboy player like this. But the hate is crazy. This dude's a great football player, man.
I love that guy. I think
Zander, you were doing well until this. Twiz, you can't put me in a box.
Hey,
you're doing good until I disagree with you. Okay, great.
Hey, I love that guy. And you know why? I fell in love with him more the last 3 weeks. When fucking he didn't cry and bitch about fucking AJ Owens over there. Every time he doesn't get his targets, he cries and bitches and screams. That guy sits over there and does his job. I watch that guy in the run game blowing people up for Saquon. You don't think Saquon looks at that and goes like this? Look at this guy, man. He's getting no targets. They're kind of not going to him. And here he is throwing his body in there for me. And you think, now I won't say that because AJ does it too. I've seen him.
A great blocker. Yeah,
he is. He learned that in Tennessee, I think, too. Yeah. Okay.
Look at Polska. Take my Eagles hat off. Oh, Polska, fuck you. Fucking telling me I can't be a fan.
Believe that segment. Holy shit. This guy goes, I go from bashing on fucking Jalen Hurts to going to defending Smitty. We just went on a seesaw. My head hurts.
We really did. Wait till we get to the quarterback rankings.
Oh, no.
Seesawing back the other way, dude.
Hey, everything will be back to normal here in about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Hey, honest to God, man.
Wait, you want to?
Who have you been more impressed with right now?
Yeah.
I heard both coordinators talking today. Who you been more impressed with, Kellen or Vic?
Vic, for sure, Vic. No doubt, Vic. I mean, not even close, Vic. Kellen Moore inherited.
Have you been surprised? Have you been real? Dude, you know why? I didn't know what to expect because those guys fucking bitching and moaning down in Miami about him, saying that his defense was antiquated and it wasn't going to work with younger players. Dude, he's working better with younger players than he did with the veteran. Dude, you had Xavier Howard down there. And then you had, what's his name, Jalen Ramsey. And you had both those corners. Those corners are Pro Bowl corners. And they're like this. Hey, Vic, F you, man. You're not that good. What's the matter, man? They're attacking your Eagle pride.
No, they're just hilarious. I mean, the commenters are just fucking hilarious, dude. They really are. They're some funny-ass people.
Yeah.
No, I hear you, though. I hear you. I get what you're saying. Defense, the Vic is definitely more impressive to me. I mean, dude, he's got, like I said, Kellen inherited a Bugatti and said, okay, drive it straight. You know, Vic Fangio inherited solid talent, mediocre. Many thought the linebacking core was going to be the worst in the league. By the way, the content machine that you are, I did not expect you to leave off to the extent you did what Vic Fangio had to say today about Zach Bond.
I haven't even gotten to it yet, actually. Well, go ahead. Say it to the folks.
I'll bring it. I want to give you the exact.
Because I haven't talked about the coordinators yet. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. I'll pull up what McClain tweeted because he tweeted the exact quote. And I'll find that in just a second here. Give me one sec. Well, he said, I think he's an inside line. I can't find the full quote, but basically they asked him why you made Zach Bond an inside linebacker. He said, well, how he came to me with Zach Bond and said, I think this guy can be a great backup edge rusher and a special teams demon was the word that he used. I watched the tape on him and said, this guy can be an inside linebacker. That's when we started making the shift. And Zach Bond is obviously, the rest is history at this point, where he's been one of the top linebackers in the league in the last 9 weeks, which is just insane impressive from the guy. But, right there, I mean, how impressive has Vic Fangio been? He's
well,
making
that's,
a dude
that's
that
his
was
forte is linebackers.
I know, but still, even
No, I agree.
It's one thing to coach a guy into being a great linebacker that you draft in the first, second, or third round. It's another thing to pull a guy who's been in the league for 4 years and say, no, I'm not going to put him where he's been his whole career. I'm going to make him a linebacker. And not only am I going to make him a linebacker, I'm going to make him a top 10 linebacker in the game. Now, some credit does deserve to go to Zach, but pretty impressive what Vic did with him and what he's been for this team. It's really it's fun to watch, dude. I mean, I've been waiting for a good linebacker in Philly.
Let me ask you this. If you're him, because he has the leverage now. He's on a 1-year deal.
He does.
Okay. He has the leverage. So if you go onto the open market and what is the price tag in 2025 for a free agent top 5 linebacker?
It's not cheap. Somebody commented.
Because last year they signed Patrick Queen for $18 million.
One of our hilarious commenters commented, because we talked about it on Birds 365 what the contract would look like, and I said, is it 10 mil? And somebody commented, and John said, no, I don't think the Birds are going to go that high. And then somebody commented, Zander, you'd never be my GM. Paying Zach Bond 10 mil when he'll take 6 is insane. And I'm like, dude, if this guy keeps playing like this, he's going to get north of 10 mil. Roquan Smith, just for example. I know he's top guy. I'm not saying Zach's Roquan. I'm not. But Roquan Smith signed a 5-year, $100 million deal. $100 million. That's $20 million a year. I think Zach's going to get at least 10 to 12, somewhere in that range.
Let me see here. I'm looking at it right now in the NFL Players Association on what they're projecting, what a linebacker is going to cost. Somebody like him, say he ends up he's trending towards 159 tackles, which is fucking incredible. Okay. I mean, if you're him, do you sit and take do you take and sit home? Because Greenlaw is going to be a free agent too. Here's the projected salaries here. Here we go. I'm on the NFL Players. I had to use my code here. Hang on for a second. Linebacker. Here's the linebackers. Here it is here. Okay, you're talking right now. Okay. 8.5 to 19.2 for top 5 guys. Bobby Wagner signed for 6.5, but I think that's because of age, because he's 34. That Matt Judon in Atlanta, he just signed for 13.6. Okay, so I mean, dude, if you're him, I'm a free agent. I'm not sitting in Philly because Philly's.
Here's what
Philly's not going to offer him $14 million.
No, they're not, and they're not known for paying linebackers. And his agent's in his ear telling him that. But let me ask you this, because I think it's a fair talking point. If you're Zach Bond, do I want to make a couple extra million and not be with Vic Fangio anymore and be like, I don't think his success is guaranteed outside of the Eagles organization. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm not trying to take away from the player, but Vic Fangio said, you're going to be a linebacker now, and he's playing unreal football. I think he might be like, can I take a 2-year deal and stay with Vic for a couple more years? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe not.
No. Hey, because listen, no, it's a great, this is why I say he has the leverage. Because to me, I think the Eagles will come to him with a hometown discount type deal. like maybe, dude, he's got a shot to make second or third team All-Pro. And the only reason he won't make first team is because he doesn't have the name yet. But he's playing first team All-Pro. So I don't want anyone to think, I don't think he's in the room with them guys. But for me, like you said, do you want to take the $5 million, go somewhere else per year, be on a shitty team, be with a coordinator that doesn't know you, hasn't developed you? And if you're Zach Bond, do you feel an obligation because this guy resurrected what career you thought maybe you didn't have? Do you look at it like this? Philly's going to be good for a lot of years here, man.
Dude, he's making 1.6 this year.
I know, man.
He's about to get 1,000% increase in contract.
Yep. Okay, now remember, I see someone down here, Real Zeal, take the money. I get it. There's no doubt players do that, man. But man,
what about what the one on the screen? Philadelphia says, "I'm not paying Zach until the end of the season. Let him stay hungry."
Yeah, at Philadelphia, that's how you fucking lose people. Okay? Because then guess what? You let a guy, say he goes to the Super Bowl, he's Super Bowl MVP. Then you're talking about an $18, $19 million guy. And then you're way out of the room.
Yeah,
now you can talk to the guy here. I'll tell you what, if he continues this play into week 14, I'm not letting the season end without that guy having a deal, at least on the table, knowing what we think. I want him to know what we think of him. And $6 million is like not thinking highly of him. Yeah, look at what DeAndre Swift did. They came to him first before Barkley, by the way, and offered him a $6.5 million. That's John McMullen saying that. You know what he said? Fuck you. I'm going to go make $9 million in Chicago.
Yeah.
He grabbed a bag of money. Now, Chicago's.
You want to do the quarterbacks? We only got 9 minutes until oh shit, dude. I got to send what's his name, the new link. Fucking A. Dude.
Let's do the quarterbacks and then we'll do the super chat.
We only had 9 minutes before.
Holy shit, man. I forgot all about that, man. I mean, that we have to do a new dude, we're just bugging through here. I forgot where we are at the time, too, man. Great stuff, guys.
I'm texting the legend, Joe Theismann himself. Let me just make sure.
I'm going to read you my top 10.
All right, go ahead. Well, I need to hear. I'm up to 8 again. I struggle with these last two because it's a total crapshoot for 9 and 10.
Okay, here's my 10.
Let me hear your list.
Here's my 10 quarterbacks. Number 10, I got Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers. Number 9, the man from the city of brotherly love. He finally, for the first time this year in 2024, has made my top 10 Big Sales list. Jalen Hurts. Number 8, the 7-1 Detroit Lions, Jared Goff. Number 7, an iconic year, Joe Burrow. Number 6, I got San Francisco's Brock Purdy.
Who'd you have 7?
5.
Sorry, who'd you have 7?
Joe Burrow.
Ooh, whoa, okay.
Number 6, Brock Purdy, San Francisco 49ers. This will shock people. At number 5, I have Kyler Murray at number 5. Number 4, the greatest rookie quarterback in the history of the National Football League, Jaden Daniels.
Dog, what?
Number 3, I have Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Josh Allen. And number 1, I have Lamar Jackson. So, Herbert 10, Hurts 9, Goff 8, Burrow 7, Purdy 6, Murray 5, Daniels 4, Mahomes 3, Allen 2, Jackson 1.
It's a shit list, dog.
Yeah, okay, sure.
You got a rookie who's 0-3 versus teams above 500 at 4 overall.
And you got a guy who's played great in a 9-28 record. Great. Here we go. Once again. Okay. Holy shit. You got to be kidding me.
Can someone please in the chat tell me what the win record is of the teams that the Commanders have beat? Please.
Will someone please tell this kid the last 5 so-called spectacular weeks, 9-28 combined record. How you doing? Come
I
on.
still got Burrow high on mine. I'm sorry. I love the way he plays,
Probably
dude.
too low. Probably too low. And I
I see
probably have Murray.
Paul said you got Burrow
Probably
too
have
high.
Murray too high. Probably have Murray too high.
Man, I think Murray's okay where you are.
Dude, he's
I mean, I think you're a little high on him, but
Murray's playing really great ball.
oh boy, you're not gonna like my list.
Let's hear it,
You
man.
ain't gonna like my list.
Did you tell Joe we had to give him a new link?
I did. He's normally a text reader. Send it to my email. Oh shit, he said he's logged into the old link.
All right.
Wait, one sec. I'll get him.
Okay. Shit list. Did you hear that? What he said, folks? A shit list.
All right, let me rattle mine off because we're gonna have Theismann coming up. All right. 1, Lamar. 2, Mahomes until proven otherwise. The guy's 9-0. I don't want to hear any bullshit on that. 3, Josh Allen. 4, Joe Burrow. 5, Jalen Hurts.
What?
6, Jaden Daniels. 7, CJ Stroud. 8, Jared Goff. Can't throw 5 picks, dog. Can't throw 5 picks in the game and not drop on the list. 9, Brock Purdy. 10, Justin Herbert. And maybe you could say swap Herbert out for Kyler. I could maybe go there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe Theismann is coming up here in a second here. And I talked to Jaws this morning. He said that Jaden Daniels is the greatest rookie quarterback he's ever seen in his life. Can you imagine hearing something like that being said about a guy who has seen all those young quarterbacks that we've seen in the NFL over the years? And you're watching one of the greatest prospects. And before I get Joe up, I'm going to bring him up. Remember what by the way, Herm Edwards is coming on Friday. He coached him at Arizona State. Yeah, remember what he said? He said, be on the lookout for this kid because this kid's special. And he reminds me of a modern day Randall Cunningham. That's how he plays.
So what we'll do is we'll do the super chats after Joe. So get to Joe and then we'll handle him after. Good stuff, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We had to send Joe a new link because YouTube went down a little bit here. And he has always been so kind to me, and we so love it. By the way, guys, please hit the like button here. The owner of a Super Bowl ring, Most Valuable Player Award, has seen it through. And by the way, it's great to see Washington relevant again. It's some of the best fans in the National Football League. You know, we had Doc Walker on a couple weeks ago, and he said, Sills, what do you make of the fan base? I go, it's great to see the energy back in D.C. again. And the guy who brought a lot of that energy is our friend. Here he is, former MVP, Joe Theismann. Joe, it's got to be great seeing that energy again, man, back in D.C. with this team.
It's unbelievable, Dan. So good to catch up with you again. I mean, it's just been a great shot in the arm in a very short period of time. I mean, you know, think back 10 weeks. You had basically a brand new football team, a brand new coaching staff, obviously brand new ownership, a very – young, what we thought would be a terrific young quarterback. But, when you play this game long enough, you say, well, maybe it takes some time for somebody to get up to speed. I think Cliff Kingsbury's done a masterful job. Nobody talks about the concepts of the offense as far as what he's been able to do to find a